name's Karen Sayers, and my granddad Les Sayers was served with the 10th Light Horse in Gallipoli in World War I. Well, I was 14 when he died, so I didn't really get to speak to him about it. It was just one of those things that he did in his life, and he didn't really advertise it. He said he was a really good sportsman, good at boxing and football and running, and that he was a bricklayer and he worked down south. It's important to tell the Aboriginal history, particularly with the war service that we're concentrating on at the moment. It's because people probably don't know. People need to be told about what actually happened and what these guys and women actually did. Their story is not any less important than any other serviceman or women. It doesn't matter what war. They face the same hardships as everybody else, and they volunteered to do it. The trauma and the adversity and the sickness and the conditions that they faced, they were all in it together.
I'm grandson to Ken Farmer, and Ken Farmer was one of 4 brothers who fought in the First World War, and he was one of 2 that came home from it. So that's our connection to
And my name's Tara, and I'm Uncle Tony's niece, and great granddaughter of Kenneth Farmer.
So it's something as we get older we can look back on now with a lot of pride. So our grandfather played that role, and his brothers and our family in general, that they were still subject to all the same kind of issues that other Aboriginal soldiers that had when they returned home.
And with that, my nan, so the daughter of great-grandfather Ken, she used to tell us stories, that he was only 14 when he signed up, and so he lied about his age to go because the older 3 brothers went, and not too sure why he went. I think it was just an obligation. He thought that he'd go, and from what we know, he went twice. So he got sent home the first time because he got meningitis, and then he signed up again to go back in and end up with shell shock. So he had a bit of shrapnel through the jaw as well, from what we hear. And it's just remarkable that such a young bloke could do that. And during my schooling years, there wasn't really a lot of recognition for the Aboriginal soldiers. I know at Remembrance Day we would go anyway, and Dad would take us to go and pay respects. But it wasn't until the 100-year anniversary for 1915 that the great-grandfather and his 3 brothers were recognised. Just the Aboriginal culture in general. We having history sort of makes us who we are today ourselves as people, and we belong to a very strong old culture, but having like family go to the First War, which is significant for Australia.